Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to pause there because a few people have said that I say, this is your host Tom Queef, thank you. And it sounds like I'm saying, this is your host Tom Queef. So that's been pointed out to me a few times. So I'm trying to remedy that. I've kind of got it lodged into the brain channels at the moment.
Tom Queef?
Tom Queef, yeah, I know. It's just kind of, my surname has that thing where people...
That's your name forever.
Yeah, that's it. That's maybe Briggsy will call me that. If you've been following mine and Briggsy's beef, I would just mention this just for when I'm there. That's been this crazy kind of Shakespearean tale of betrayal. So definitely check that out on Viewpoint. Maybe we've battled in the future, maybe we haven't, who knows. It was basically gonna go down if Shocks has kind of made it happen, and if Shocks beats Soul, Briggsy will battle me. So if you're listening to this in the future, yeah,
is that what it is?
That's what it is, yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. I know.
It's a shame that.
It is. I didn't want to kind of put any attention away from the battlers, but Shocks himself took it upon himself. So, but regardless, this is your host, Tom Queef. Please follow the show at Battle Rap Resume. Please get in touch with me, battleresume@gmail.com. Head on to our Patreon, patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume if you want to help to support the show. There are two main tiers on there. The sort of lower tier that we're asking for is basically £1, the equivalent of £1 a month, and it gets you access to loads of exclusive episodes, all the video essays, weeks, months before they come out, loads of other good stuff. And if you want to donate a little bit more, so about £5 a month, you get access to all that and 2 Battle Rap Resume episodes, weeks, months before they come out. I often record a lot of this stuff far in advance. Got a big backlog. So yeah, check us out there on patreon.com/Battle Resume. I'm really excited to get into this episode. This is going to be the second edition of a series that I love doing, battle tapes, where myself and a guest are going through, rap battler music, battle rap music that we think is really good. Very happy to welcome back Dave. We did the Kruger Lazy EP, and now we're getting some Cee Major. Dave, how's it going, man?
It's going great. I love this album as well.
Yeah. yeah. It's fucking strong. And I just, before we get on to 10,000 Hours though, since the last time we spoke, you've been making moves, man. You got your own podcast with Frankie and Danny, is that right?
Yeah. Cider sometimes, or sometimes Cider, depending on what social network you're searching for. It's going all right.
And it's just you guys just chatting like what, UFC, battling, wrestling, all that? Yeah,
bit of battling, bit of wrestling, bit of everything, bit of gaming, just life basically. It's all right though. It's fun.
Yeah. People definitely need to check that out on YouTube. Cider sometimes Cider. Any iteration of that, I'm sure if you go onto the guys' Twitters as well, you can find that. So definitely check that out. But we're talking about an album, a mixtape, however you want to define these kind of things in today's modern milieu of music, that I think is absolutely fantastic, transcendent. When we started this idea for this battle tape series, the two that came to head really were Lazy EP and 10,000 Hours. These were the two releases that I really like. They're just utter quality. They're kind of, they go beyond the standard definition of battler music. And I mean, Dave, before you listen to this, like Cee Major as a battler, like were you familiar? Were you a fan? Like what was your trajectory?
Yeah, big fan. I put Cee highly. I think Cee's amazing. He does exactly what you think he's going to do every time, but he does it in a different way.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's always Cee, but there's always something just that little bit over. You're like, oh, I didn't know he could do that. Didn't know he could do it that fast. Didn't know he could rhyme like that. So I've always put him quite high.
Yeah, me too, actually. I think he was definitely always a unique, a forward-thinking kind of battler. And, one of the themes of 10,000 Hours that runs through is the idea of change and growth and becoming a different person. And, if you look at Cee, just physically, from his initial try against Young Mace to kind of, his soul battle onwards, and also just the way he spits, the reference points that he's done. In terms of the shorts, he didn't do that many battles on Don't Flop. Maybe he's going to do some more in the future, but he really didn't. It kind of feels like he did a bit more perhaps because he did quite a few with Cracker, and that kind of built out. But in terms of solo runs, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but not too many in that great scheme of things. But he really had that quality from the off, didn't he?
Yeah, he's always had something a little bit extra that other guys don't have. He's always been up there. Like his battle against Dogmelos is great.
Oh my god, yeah.
There's so many good bars that he just drops like they're nothing. He just throws them out like pieces of shit. He's like this. And by the time you're finished reacting to the first one, he's already moving on Kind of like Soul, like he hits you, the setup will just slap you, and you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah, so he tried out against Young Mace just on his verse tracker as always. Then battled Enigma, then Bamalam, lost to Bamalam in the semi-final of top 8. So Ogmios kind of was a battle that was later remedied as well. The majority of his stuff though was with Cracker, as I said. We had a Tim Westwood. He battled Chiller. I forgot that he battled Chiller at his 6th birthday, which was. I remember going to that battle. I remember being the biggest ever Chiller Jones fanboy, and I couldn't believe he was coming to Don't Flop. And it was a good battle, but I kind of had to admit that Cee kind of beat him quite convincingly.
You're a Chiller Jones fanboy?
I used to be. Nowadays,
unfortunate.
Nowadays,
you're all right.
Nowadays, I despise him, but I used to genuinely in 2012. I was the biggest Chiller Jones fan because he was just kind of it was the most aggressive, explosive puns I'd ever heard in my entire life. I thought it was from a next level. But I remember seeing the Cee Major battle live and even thinking, oh wow, this sort of scheming stuff can only go so far. And it kind of works a bit better, I think, on a more kind of dense URL stage, whereas Cee was kind of just styling on him. He had the punches, but he also just had that kind of, a swagger, for want of a better word. And I think he kind of outstripped a lot of what Chiller could do.
It's all good being a koi in a family pond, but when you get chucked in the ocean, you're fucked. He's good at what he does, Chiller, but when you come over with a big fish, you're done.
Right.
You're not eating no pebbles and farting about. You're finished.
Facts.
And that's that.
And lest we forget as well, Cee went for the title against Soul in an unbelievable battle. I know a lot of people seem to think Cee won this. I personally think Soul took it quite cleanly.
I think Soul took it as well, but I think it's one of Cee's better performances.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Anyone's better performances.
Yeah. I don't want to take away from that at all. I think it's a brilliant performance. Don't get me wrong, but I think Soul just. I've spoken about this battle quite a lot, but I think Soul, he used the title match as a paradigm to explore different ideas, and he elevated himself. And obviously a lot of people think about the sort of the Gibbo crop idea and kind of the tiers of battling, which I think is genius. I think it's just such a profound kind of brilliant thing to do there. And then Cee Major's last battle was 7th birthday, which was I don't even remember this battle. I think I watched it once. Do you remember him versus Cortez? It was a sort of last minute thing.
Yeah, I watched that, and that was when I became really just disheartened that Cortez was alive, unfortunately. I like Cortez. He says some cool shit sometimes. He reminds me a bit of a less prepared Moneybags. If you woke Moneybags out of his sleep, he'd rap like Cortez. But if you gave him a week, he'd rap like him.
Got money bags under his eyes as he wakes up. Yeah.
I thought Cee did okay in that.
Yeah. I literally can't really comment on it because I just don't remember. I have to rewatch that sort of thing. But I think if that would have been a sort of proper prepped battle in I don't know, a small room session or something, that could be quite good. But yeah, Cortez. I've never got Cortez, Dave. I have to say, he's okay, but he can be quite irritating. I think the way he delivers things, it's oh god, just he seems to stretch out his bars for all they're worth, and there's not really any worth there.
If someone had told him to shut the fuck up in high school, he could have done us all a favour. To be honest, if they just pulled him aside and went, look, mate, pack it in. That's enough. Yeah. That's plenty.
So just give him a little clip around the ear hole. That would have sorted us all out. But we're here to speak about 10,000 Hours, which is a wonderful mixtape. 10,000 Hours. When I found out this was, because I was kind of a fan of Cee's music as well. I had listened to the Format and Humble Beginnings, and I think it had started with a drops that he did for Don't Flop in 2012, and it was him in this alleyway, and it was over I want to say it's a Ninth Wonder beat, but it might have been an M-Phase bit. And I remember I was whoa. I remember I was really where the drops were coming out and they were good. And I was this guy is really profound, and it really moves me to listen to him spit. He has a great diction, a great kind of command on that beat. And I was always keeping my eyes open for that. The phrase 10,000 hours, Dave, does it mean anything to you as a concept, or?
As far as I'm aware, there's the whole martial arts or expert thing. If you want it, you don't practice a kick 1,000 times. 1,000 kicks, you do the same kick 10,000 times, or 10,000 hours into something, you become an expert.
Yeah.
So I guess this would be Cee basically taking the rap game itself and going, look, I've put my time in, this is what I am, none of you are doing this, out of my way type of thing. He's putting a stamp on it.
Exactly. I think it's a great title as well, and obviously the front cover, the clock itself, kind of connotes that, very minimalist, very effective, great design there. I think that's by Sam Strickland. I don't want to misquote it if it's not, but Sam, who's been on the show before, does a lot of great Don't Flop design stuff, awesome design. I was aware of it through Malcolm Gladwell, who's kind of this sort of, I don't know if he's like a pop sort of psychologist sort of idea, and he did the same, like he said it in a different context, but the same idea of 10,000 hours to master something, like anything in life. And he used actually the Beatles as an example, where the Beatles went to Hamburg before they released their first album, and that's where they really cut their teeth, and they were playing like 9-hour sets for 3 months in a row, and you know what I mean, they really were ahead of the game in so many ways because they put the hours in. And it's just I think it's a great title for a mixtape. I think it's quite powerful.
Well, a title that means so much with so little as well. The cover is great because it's so minimal, but it says everything you need to know about it.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, it's a wonderful piece of work throughout. We're going to get into the song by song in a second, but I think what really spoke to me when I was listening to it, I had it on in the background and maybe just kind of going through stuff and sort of just playing it through, was just the quality, not only of the lyrics but of the production. I think it's Cee and Focus Beats as well. It really is. I mean, the first song is no feature film is what he calls it, but the whole damn album is very cinematic.
It really is. Like, going through my notes earlier, I must have written down about 10 times about the production, and at one point I've written down, don't be redundant while talking about the production, because it's so good. Just the tiniest choices are just, they're perfect.
And I mean, we'll get into No Feature Film, which kicks it off, which is an interesting structurally, because, I think one of the things that you get through the album that really surprised me was the sophistication of hooks. There's so many great hooks in here, so many great choices instrumentally that really complement the songs. No Feature Film, it kind of has that classic hip-hop intro. I'm thinking of Ready to Die, for example, where it has that kind of long form. There isn't a chorus here. There's just the exploratory nature, kind of establishing thing. You have the sort of epic string thrums and the nice little elements, the nice little trills here. Sometimes, you watch Father Ted, right?
Yes.
You remember in Father Ted, I can't remember the exact episode, but he gets a car to give away or something, and he notices there's like a there's like a dent in the hood, and he tries to even out the dent, and then it cuts to 7 hours later, and he's ruined the whole car. You can definitely become obsessed with soundscapes, especially in hip hop, I think, as well, when you're doing something that's propelling the lyricism. But this and the whole album, but I think Feature Film especially, there's just little things, there's little jerks, there's little orchestras, little trills of guitar, and it just lends itself to this wonderful atmosphere.
For as much going on, there's very little fat. There's no muck in the gears at all. He's just going through his paces, and it's top notch. And it's a sign of things to come for the rest of the tape, because it gets you in straight away, lets you know what he's there for, lets you know what he's going to do, and he just gets straight to business. It can't get better for an opening track.
And there is this kind of common thing in Cee's writing. I mean, this is what I liked a lot about Lazy EP. I think that's what we said earlier. One of the reasons it was so strong was because it was Kruger. It wasn't unrecognizable. It was Kruger, the battle personality, making music. And this is very much Cee Major. The way Cee writes, I think, especially in the Soul Battle, he'll do sort of synonyms. He'll repeat a word and change a certain thing. So when he's like, I don't want to raise a youth here, I'm trying to raise the youth here. And just kind of the way he just builds on it. It's very effective, very simple, as you say, but very propulsive.
Yeah. He does a lot of things, a lot of different vocal inflections, and he'll sometimes stutter or repeat the first syllable of a word and just sort of take you in it, and it stutters, and you lift your head following the beat. You're like, and it just goes along. It's just so good.
Yeah. And it's just very. You get the sense of the city in this album. You get a sense of nighttime as well, of kind of somnambulance, and if we're talking in terms of kind of the lyrical ideas that Cee explores here, it opens with him talking of fighting the man in the mirror. And, throughout these songs, I'm thinking especially on songs like, A Poet's Outlook and I Changed, he's brutally honest, isn't he?
I Changed is really good. I had that one earlier a good 3 or 4 times, just listening to it, trying to take notes, but I'm really enjoying it over and over again. Listen to it.
I Changed is excellent. Really, really good song. And I mean, I think No Feature Film, it's a strong one. I think there's a lot. I don't want to use the word better or anything like that. I think as a cohesive piece, it's what's needed to lead you in. But for me, I think the album takes a complete upward stride in quality. Again, I want to stress that I love No Feature Film. It's really good as well. The Homies is an incredible song to me.
Fuck with that song, heavy, heavy. Rate that tune.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's fucking sensational. Like, I remember, like, I think the video came out on SBTV or something, and I just kind of had it on in the background, and it just kind of, we open with the sort of the really faded out pianos that we hear a lot. You can almost, like, and I don't know whether this, because it's one of the wonders of listening with headphones. I tend to normally just listen on my laptop speakers, and it's kind of, you miss a lot of the nuance, but which I'm sure Cee's like what the, you know what I mean? Like he puts all this stuff into it. I've got the treble up and shit, but like, I was listening with my headphones the other day, and you can just hear like a very gentle bit of flange, like phaser in there as well, very tender use kind of thing. And it's just a pay on really to his brothers. He kind of builds out the sort of idea of his friendship. But for me, it's the hook. It's the sort of the intricate Russian doll structure of the hook. They hold me. That's the Homies. They hold me. They never held me back. Like, just the cadence
Russian
of it.
Doll is a really good way to.
You know what I mean?
Actually, because it's so layered, but everything's so simple, and it just gets bigger and bigger as it builds to the chorus. It's fucking terrific.
Yeah. And
the beat's not overpowering either.
No.
It's kind of meandering, and he directs it with his cadence rather than it doing it the other way.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, completely. I think often with a lot of hip hop, it can either be the beat's overpowering it, and it's a song where it's a beat. I think a lot of Jay-Z songs are like that, where it's the beat that is the focal. A lot of Black albums like that, even though flows well on it. Or you'll maybe get, say, I don't know, Lil Wayne for one of a better example, where it's the lyrics you listen to, and the beat's often like just a kind of mixtape beat. It's not really good, but I think in the Homies, you do have Cee working so well on the song, and another thing that happens throughout the album that I really like. Obviously, Cee is a huge football fan. I think he's a West Ham fan. I see him tweeting about West Ham quite a lot. And you get a lot of football bars. I'm on the field. They're in the commentary box. They taught that game, but they can't match me. Just simple, but just really effective.
Apologies again for the cough and the sneezes. Like that song as well, like the Homies. The way it starts, and as it's getting further on, it's a lot shorter than you think it's going to be as well. And I always get quite bummed that it ends where it does.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be a good 4-minute track because it's so slow. And there's like probably a million rappers now on SoundCloud, on everything. Everyone's got their own lane. Cee's probably the first spitter I've heard that not only is in his own lane, but he can change the camber of the road. He's like, nah, I'm not doing it this way, doing it that way. Fuck you. He can see the bumps, he can see everything, and he's going to take it exactly how it comes. And it comes across great, like fully packaged. It's fantastic, man.
Yeah. It's a real song. Like, it's not just him rapping on a beat. Like, it's a real, well-composed piece of music. Again, we said the way the interweave holds, and just kind of like, I love when he doubles his voice as we go into the second verse. He goes like, hold me down.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really, sophisticated, great stuff. He has such a great grasp, such confidence. I love the movement. And, again, with the football bars, like, when he gets into there's a horn as well in the back of the verse that I love.
There's a small horn that just
it's perfect. You can't help but sing these parts, can you, when you talk about them? But like,
it's too good.
Yeah.
I've been talking about it all day because that's all I've been listening to for this, and it's been, like I said, taking little notes, but I've not been able to get Homies out of my head. It's over 27, Whitney, like they're all just running around. 27,
27's amazing.
Mad.
Yeah, so good. And the Homies, like, I remember when I initially heard this, I just was singing the hook to myself just throughout the day. Like it just stayed with me. It's a very satisfying thing to sing. And East Side in pole position, like Adrian, even the way he says Adrian, like just kind
got funk on that. Like, it's got its own stank. Like, it just simmers through like a pot on the boil.
Yeah, and I mean, just that's really like just the way he writes these bars that kind of stick with you, and just kind of the pause as we go into the second verse. Oh wait, I've been up in her since 08. Putting in the leg work, but that steps over Olay. Just like really,
That's. But the thing is, although because it's so short and he says things like that, in comparison to the rest of the tape, he might not say much, but he doesn't need to with the way he says it. Like, everything's so cute and so tight, like that's just really nicely done.
Yeah.
I want to shake him by the shoulders and let him know that's a belter, He probably knows.
No, he does, but I mean...
He has to know.
I mean, it's kind of, you must. I mean, we're obviously going to be praising Cee throughout this because it's a brilliant tape, but I think the Homies is It's a brilliant song. Like it's a brilliant song. It's one of my songs of last year. Like, it's a song that I just love to listen to. And just the very sort of like, the very earthy kind of lyrics as well. And like, it's a very sweet thing as well. There's no braggadocio about it. It's just about his friends. It's about the relationship he has with them, the long bonds that he's conceived. Same brothers I grew with then, same brothers I'm grown with now, same brothers I turn up with. That's the homies, they hold me down. Yeah, it's just...
It's just a song about your boys having a good time in it.
Yeah, but it's not
not in that wreck the gaff way. Just like, let's have a stroll and a kickabout.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's just hang. Like, it's kind of it is just wonderful. And like in the kind of final chorus, and it's like homie, that's the homies. They like a lot of repetition of the homie there as well, and he just plays on the rhythms of it, and it's just what can I really say? The homies is such a good track, and it kind of I was watching a video today actually on SBTV, and I think it's got like 40k or something, which, like, you look at some of the videos on SBTV and they have like hundreds of K, and it's like, why isn't this getting the views? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is because
he's not pulling funny faces, and he's not got snowboard goggles on, and he's not jumping around shaking his tongue and screaming it's a madness. That's what people want. Whereas that, you got to respect it though. The song he's written about his boys and about the way he gets on with his boys and their relationship, it does something to other people, because I listen to it with my boys sometimes. We're in the car, we'll be chilling and shit, or go to the beach with his kids, play football, have his song on in the car. Like, it fits everywhere, man.
Yeah.
So kudos to him for that. It's great.
It is a brilliant song. And we get to the next song, It's Over, which kind of opens with like almost a 16-bit kind of warmth to it. You know, the sort of the synth, the kind of Blackpool Ride kind of, electronic beat here. And, this again is him just sort of talking about his progression. Grew up spitting 16s around Brayford, now man in Bradford, know what my name is.
Yeah.
And just, brilliant lyrics here. Grew up on a webcam mic in Audacity. Now the way I'm living is audacious. Yeah. I love that.
That and They Can All Work the Gram, I Can Work Your Cerebellum. These men are posing all fruity, winter nut in their melon. They're two of my favourite bars on the whole album. Really simple.
I love Ain't Trying to Settle for Dead End Jobs though. Why you think I'm pulling these grave shifts?
Yeah, that's the one. I like the snare in this song, Tom.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I know this sounds stupid, but the amount of people that pick the wrong type of snare, they'll pick like a flam or like a nice crack snare. But the snare in this, it's thick and it sounds live. It's got a good slap to it.
It does sound live,
and he's relentless over top of it. He fucking joyrides this beat. He takes it, fucks off with it. Doesn't give a shit whose it is. It's his now.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, and I mean, other great lyrics, other great football lyrics. Send shots, I might write back. Damn right, I'm a little bit defensive. Just subtle playing out.
Cracker must have tweeted that bar about 650,000 times last year.
Really?
Every time he tweets it, I'm like, nah, I'm putting it on, I'm putting that track on.
Yeah, I remember Cracker actually, because I think Cracker's Twitter profile is still 10,000 hours, which is just like,
good man.
The homies,
there you go.
They never let me down, man. And shout out Cracker at Cracker UKBL, as he's now known now. But that was just, I mean, I think Cracker as well was, I think I mentioned actually on our episode that I did with him how great how much I love 10,000 hours. It's like, he was just like, I know. It's like, it is like, I mean, masterpiece is maybe a little bit far flung, but it is a wonderful body of work, and cool to see Cee singing on this as well, like towards the end.
Yeah, he comes to a very strong finish. Like he's got like that sort of trademark. It's not like a croon to his singing, but it's his voice. Like, and he'll do the starter thing, getting the starter some words. I pop for that every time, And he sort of goes into the singing, and it takes you out of it because you don't expect that from Cee that way. I don't anyway.
No, definitely not. And
not on a track like that either that starts so he really is relentless on it, Tom.
Yeah, no, yeah, it is non-stop, and it just kind of I love the way that it's a long verse and then a hook at the end and then just like a long hook. It's kind of like, it's not 1 and 2, 1 and 2, it kind of has that play off, play on sort of thing. And the way the hook sort of goes underground as well with the beat when it goes really, really low and then comes back in with the sort of the intro piano, it's brilliantly constructed.
Yeah, the arrangement's it's... I don't have a word for it, mate.
Yeah, no, I know.
This is probably, as a whole, the best album I've heard from a battler. Like, as a whole, full length. It's so good.
Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously, we both adored Lazy EP as well, but I think it was the nature of Kruger is that it's not going to be as like consistent thematically, or just kind of. It's not even that it's not consistent. Like it kind of has that level to it, but it's just kind of. I know what you mean. The mood of this whole thing, the way it's sequenced.
This is like this isn't just like a tape that's like the Lazy EP is all about being lazy, but this has got different vibes to it, different energies. Some are like low, some are more amped up, but at the same time the subject matter doesn't kind of fit the energy, and I like that. It's really nice.
And we get to the next song, which is it's probably my favourite song on the album. Icon. Yeah,
Half 10, mate. Yeah, darkness. 10:30 at night. Front door of the high rise open. Dog running about. Balls getting kicked back and forth. Mates having a laugh in cans. That's what that song is.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, the heavy swerve of the beat. Like, it was quite funny actually. I was speaking to Lazy Ass Jack recently, and I mentioned that we were going to do 10,000 Hours, and he loves it as well. And we're talking about Icon, and we both said the same thing at the same time. In the second verse, when he's like a little this and that, you know, when it's like a little don't flop,
do a little battle rap, this and that.
The way he fucking says that, and just the beat as well. That heavy swerve. It's like a jungle. It sounds like a toucan is like barking in your ear and stuff. Like,
yeah, it's got that good bark to it.
Yeah.
He's got some mustard on his delivery in this, you know.
Man, it's just clever writing. Ain't got a piggy bank or a cash cow. Still going to show him an animal when I cash out. And for me, it really is, you know, it's not only about the cadence, it's not only about the lyricism, it's really about the way you play against the beat. And the beat in Icon is very, very simple, and there's a lot of silence in the heft of the beat, and he just kind of like, he just operates in the eaves of the song so well, like, you know, and I love the hook as well. Such a clever Jordan trying to rise on the tongue, trying to be an icon from the jump.
From the jump. It's so simple, like just that one line, but perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
the way there's a part in that song, the way he says, "Man, better do the math, rude boy." We ain't in the same. Every time my eyebrows and my neck go up, like that. Like what?
Yeah, I agree because there's something very clever in the song where the first verse is, you know, the whole song's pretty brief actually. I think it's one of the shorter songs in the album. I think it's like 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's over quite quickly. The first verse is quite quick, quite brief, and then we get into the hook. And the second verse, it feels like it's going to end, and then his voice goes quite quick. It's like, you don't really want me on the set now, the way I got it set now, you man. And like Westwater Exhibit, and you think after he said that, man, I got the spinach. You're like, okay, we're going to go back into the hook. But then he goes back into another verse. When I woke up, I was writing, fell asleep doing the same thing, and I just my neck goes when he does that bit.
Like tonight, oh man,
oh man, it's just terrific, man. Like and just I mean, again, crazy football bars from C here, still intact with a cam, kicking back on the east side like Bilic. Like again, like West Ham surnames in C Major's voice just sound hard as for Bilic. Like, you know,
he does what he knows, and he knows that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Is there anyone better for football bars?
I mean, O'Shea obviously does quite a few.
O'Shea.
But you know,
Ark had some good ones.
They did. Crafty does quite a bit actually. Crafty has
Kraft does a lot of football bars actually.
Tony has a fair few here and there.
Tell you who had a good football bar. What was Fraser's football bar about? That manager who changed his voice.
FC20. Steve McLaren.
Honestly, I could have kicked a hole in the fucking radio, mate.
Yeah. And he said he had one against Z where he's like talking about putting the ball in the net like Jeff Hurst did to the West Germans or something like that. Like, crazy shit. But I mean, I adore. There's a lot of songs on this album that I adore, but Icon. You know, I have like a 20-minute walk to work, and I've been listening to 10,000 Hours every day for the past week or so, making my notes, you know, mentally. And the first song I've always put on was Icon. I've just instantly.
First place I go as well as Icon. I usually go Icon then 27.
Yeah. They're the two sort of like full throttle ones, definitely. And you know, we get to you know, a sort of lower pulse for the song. Still a lovely song with Slow Down. I love the arpeggio. You know, that kind of repetitive guitar hook that opens it. It's great.
Well, there's a word that makes sense that I couldn't have used better.
Yeah.
I've written down the bit that goes up and down.
Well, I mean, you know. That's what an arpeggio is, I suppose. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's and it's just you know, I kind of don't want to sound cliched here, and I know there's people who kind of make this sort of music as well, but it does have that Drake vibe, doesn't it, as well? That kind of, you know, that very soft, that very slow, that very intimate, but still enjoyable sort of idea. And I think Slow Down is just another real stellar track.
It's, my mate calls it a bitch rhythm.
Yeah.
But I quite like it. He calls it a bitch rhythm.
Bitch.
I think it's called Slow Down, but yeah, in title only, because when the ball starts rolling from the start of the album, yeah, with no feature film, picks up pace on this one.
Yeah.
Early, never stops moving. He's got that thing, the ring in the necks, that's tribal shit. That's fucking bananas.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't catch it the first time. I'm like, ring in the neck, what? And I go back, just,
Yeah.
And he's got that focus on accents more than the lines I spit. So when these lines turn to S's, they won't mind my list.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, I know. From beats on LimeWire to being in the limelight, riding in like rocking in.
Yeah. Cruising pop up, that's drive-by shit. Bravado at its best, mate.
Yeah, effortless. I agree, actually. Yeah, he is still, it's almost like icon level kind of, you know, pulse, but it just kind of a bit slow here. But I mean, the whole thing is repetitive, but not in a bad way. It just kind of has that kind of almost hypnotic element to it. And like, I love as well, he somehow makes a bar about Pixar sound really hard. You don't want to come to me for war. I got a team full of monsters. I'll put Sully through the door.
Sully through the door, yeah.
Oh, that's heavy, man. I love that shit. There was actually a bit of ironic kind of meta-ness about that bar, because quite a while ago now, I did an episode with Craft D where we did our top 5 soul rounds, and the thumbnail of the video was Soul versus Cee Major on the Ministry stage, but over Cee Major's face was the Battle Rap Resume logo, and Cee Major saw it and he sort of said like, "Oh, why are you blocking out my logo?" And I don't know if you remember in Monsters Inc., but there's that bit towards the end when they're on the front of that magazine and Mike's face is covered by a sticker, and I posted a picture of that and sent it to him, and I quoted, "Got a team full of monsters, I'll put Sully through the door." So it was just this kind of this wonderful sort of coincidence there. But
well played.
Yeah, I thought so as well. But
at Easter egg there.
Yeah, there you go. Dig through my Twitter, you'll see that. At the back of your mind, like your occipital lobe.
I mean, where does he honestly have the balls sometimes just to be saying shit?
Yeah.
Like, he must sit down and write it and be like, "That's cold as fuck. That's cold as fuck. That's cold as fuck."
Yeah. And just the way the arpeggio, at the end of the song, it just retreats into sort of the back, like the occipital lobe. It sort of goes backwards, the volume sort of goes down. It just gets more relaxed and just kind of edges out. But I mean, it's a testament really to this album that we're 5 songs in and all 5 songs have been absolutely fantastic.
Slow Down really is much better than I thought it was. What we're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, a lot of these tracks actually, and another one kind of in the similar Slow Down vein is A Poet's Outlook, which
fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, just for me, it is that kind of, the hook really stays with me, and the way he sings it, the way he says it, the way that I'm writing, it's like I hate being happy.
I've gotten that right down as well.
It's just it's quite stirring.
What did you take from the track?
I like the start. I like the sort of gorgeous, like, it's almost like heraldry. It's quite triumphant music as well. And then kind of the heavier drums come in, and, it is one of the more sincere tracks. Cee is sharing the pain. I love the jungle in the east side, mostly trying to turn into a mogul from a Mowgli.
Yeah. You've written down triumph as well. I've written down that it's got like a triumphant broody vibe for the instrumentation. Totally. But it sort of lifts up him and he glides over top of it. Like, not to sound redundant, but he puts his own stamp on it, Tom. The beat can be here and he'll just skim it like a stone. He hits where he needs to hit and just keeps going. Doesn't matter the tempo, the subject matter, how aggressive he is. Every single track belongs exactly as it is. There's nothing you can do to them.
No. And I mean, I think, again, with the triumph and the sort of the slightly elevated nature, if you look at the track list, all the track titles are quite simple. It's Over, Slow Down, I Changed, but A Poet's Outlook. You know what I mean? It's different from all the rest immediately, isn't it? It's a little more arch. And
what's
again,
that line I've had stuck in my head? Spend money on clean hearts and good food. Phone full of memories I can look through. Only speak to certain people when there's a funeral.
Yeah,
like that sticks in my head now. I'm in my 30s. Like, I get that.
Yeah. And
that's strong. That
it is very strong, and it is again him dwelling on the past. Or I guess dwelling, reflecting. Now I'm in the pits. They want to know me. Just a headache when I was in the nosebleeds.
Oh,
yeah.
I did it on my own. Still catch me zinging to the east side with my woes.
Yeah.
And my voice as I lower the tone.
Oh man, yeah, it is just sensational stuff. I keep using the word sensational, but I really, I'm running out of superlatives to throw at this album. Really, I think, and again, the hook, just really, really delicate.
Strong finish, although it's delicate,
Yeah, it is. It is. I think all the songs, while some are subtle than others, they never without their power. They're always quite effective.
It's like having your throat slit with a needle, that, because it's as gentle as it could be, but you're still going out. Like, it's ending. And it's so good, mate.
Yeah, it is. It is a real one. And kind of, it's interesting because in the middle of the album, there is this kind of coterie of the slightly softer songs. And I think in terms of just writing, in terms of something that Cee can really look at and think, wow, that is just, I've really put something together that's quite magical. I think 3 minutes, the hook especially, when this song starts and it kind of has that it kind of has that vocal play and there's a bit of undetectable glib dialogue between. It's a real joy to listen to.
He writes a good chorus, doesn't he?
He really does.
He's got a real skill for it sounds old fashioned, like a little ditty that's just going to get stuck in the old grey matter, and you just hear humming it. And 3 minutes is a creeper, because when I first heard the tape I enjoyed it, but this week I've had it on and it's coming on shuffle a lot. And I keep sticking it back on, in all honesty. It's really good. It's really fun to listen to as well.
It is.
You get caught up in his tunes quite easily.
Oh, hell yeah! And I really feel this one's a bit of a a head cleanser. This is kind of one you can really sort of meditate to and vibe out to, and quite rare for the album as well. The album is very lean. As you're saying, there's a lot of elements in it, but there's not too much sort of there's not long intros, outros, etc. But it's quite nice that in this one there's a little movement in the middle, a little instrumental break that's really kind of well done as well, quite glistening, quite gleaming. And again, it's him dwelling on very painful personal topics as well, really putting it out there, and that kind of the moments you can grasp of each other and stuff like that. But he just has that soft voice as well, the little 3 minutes. Ditty is the best word, really. It's very catchy.
It is like a ditty. My mum quite likes that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she does. She rates that.
Yeah.
Because I'd be taking her places sometimes. We'll be in the car and off shit on, and she quite likes that. It's nice, and it's there's that bit where it's gotta take care of myself, feels like I ain't got a care in the world type of thing, and I catch her just nodding her little head and giving a little smile, and that kind of, I quite like that my mum enjoys that.
Yeah.
That I can get so into something like 27 or Icon, because Cee goes hard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my mum's this Cee boy's quite good.
this major fella. He's not
this
bad.
Major fella.
Yeah. He's it is. I mean, 3 minutes is another really, really great number, and I think the album does have a cohesion to it as well, but there's nothing. Cee never seems scared for experimentation as well, and I think in something like I Changed, which starts with the sort of I don't really know how to explain what it sounds like. It's almost like like a pad or something, you know what I mean? It's kind of do 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 do.
Yeah, it's like a sort of a muddy sound. It's like a PlayStation sound, when you're hopping on wet pebbles, rock to rock, bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we mentioned Croc in the last episode, but I guess it kind of,
The amount of people I've been talking to, did you know who did the music for Croc? And they're you're a fucking liar. I'm Google it.
Yeah. Oh no, that was Spyro. That was Spyro.
No, yeah, but Spyro is the guy from The Police, right?
Yeah, it was. Who does?
I've been telling people it's Croc.
Oh, no, it's the guy. Yeah. I mean, who cares, right? I mean, yeah, but Stuart Copeland did the Spyro music, which we discussed last time. But I mean, I Changed for me has that kind of the PS1 lily pad music, as you're saying, but it also has that kind of that unwieldy synth. It just kind of has a jaggedness to it. That
I'm so glad you made that noise, and I didn't have to. So I was gonna.
But it's just kind of it's almost like this contained fire on top of the song, and and even the no lie, you said I really changed. I was so right, and it just kind of this is kind of a common theme in Cee, the idea of growing up and kind of reflecting, reminiscing on these ideas. And I Changed is another good number.
I might be wrong here, yeah, because I don't know the bloke too well, I'll be honest with you, but for me, it's a sleeper, the whole tape. Like, it's one of those ones that you listen to once and you're like, it's okay, but the more you listen to it, it gets better and better and better. Yeah. It's like shining a torch in the dark, though. You're just like in this dark room filled with all this shit. You click a torch on any way you want, and he's just guiding you through it. He's a great storyteller, see. Terrific storyteller.
He is excellent. Never labours the point. There's never like a kind of a deep narrative, but he's always sort of guiding you, giving you hints towards who he is, what's happened, sort of thing. And it's always comes across as very genuine, very stirring. And I mean, yeah, I change a lot of the songs, get into the mode where Cee is just going at it. And, you mentioned like It's Over before, where it's not on the face of it what would seem like the most heavy song. But I changed as well. I think, especially with the keyboard. I just love the keyboards on this song. I think they really kind of give the song a bit of a menace, flesh it out really well. I
think it'd be interesting to hear from Cee himself, like what made him go for the beats he went for. Yeah. Because it's easy to say for us, I like this because, but why did he go for that? Like, what spoke to him? Because some of these beats and like the instrumentation, it's just, there's not much better you're going to get.
No.
He couldn't have picked better beats for some of them.
No. There's not a misstep, is there, on the whole album?
There's not.
Like, I literally can't point to one where I'm like, okay, this could have went ish or it's like, no, this guy really fucking knew what he was doing. And like I say, I think it was himself and Focus Beats, if I'm correct as well. I think they were the two guys, kind of the masterminds, and they knew what the fuck they were doing. And we get to another track here, Whitney, which is obviously titled Whitney because he's kind of Whitney Houston is the hook in this track. What did you make of Whitney?
Throwback, good throwback sound. Picks up the chorus for the opening on this one. Really good. Really nice opening gambit, like level to the game from the pedals to the reins. That thing, I quite like that. And as people stay dropping like confetti in the rain, it's really good. It catches you from the start. And you kind of glancing over. I catch myself glancing at the radio when I'm driving. And he's just dropping these little nuggets, like shutting it down like Kevin Perry in the rave.
Yeah.
Deal with bass, then pistols, Sid Vicious. Fuck a rock star, now let me rock first. From the hood where the rock served, like that's mental. It goes into another football bar. Is it hold on, ain't a question that they got work dealing with Kane up front like Hotspur.
That's crazy. That's so fucking good. This is to have
one standout football bar every track or every two tracks.
He does. There are so many. Like I haven't got it at the moment, but I was going to make just a list of them and go through them. But I mean, we've kind of touched on most of them, and they are brilliant. Like I think kind of anyone that says football bars are played out, listen to 10,000 Hours. This guy employs them in such a convincing, wonderful way. And yeah, I mean, not too much for me really to say on Whitney. Obviously, not a bad song at all. Plays into the mood of the track. I do like the fact that he employed this chorus as well and kind of did his own spin on it as well. Like, it's a very, very famous, powerful, kind of Whitney ballad to a certain extent that he's constructed in his own mold here. A great song, but I kind of want to get a little bit onto the next track just because it just makes me tear up the gaff, for want of a better word, really.
It's a gaff smasher. It's 27.
27, man. I mean, talk to me about 27, man.
Every single day I drive to this song, blasting, not a care in the world. He fucking spazzes on this. The beat, the instrumentation is nuts. That little piano key thing going up and down, the way his voice cracks, it changes. That right hand of Wise Man making Morecambe.
I knew you were going to mention the Morecambe line, and that is, And he's like, hard labour, Jeremy Corbyn.
And then you hear this little, he sort of goes, and every time I fucking pop for it, and there's that white diamond in the dirt, and he Gemma dropping an icy one. Fucking knock his teeth out, man, honestly.
And it's when the beat goes up an octave as well, and it just kind of gets you even more kind of bop with that head sort of thing, and that boom, like that
you heavy
can't fuck
bass. With it. You cannot fuck with that track.
No, it's kind of, I love the fact that, so the 13 tracks on this album, arguably you have two like bangers in Icon and 27, and they're both at the same sort of point in the album. Like, you know, Icon is the basically the 3 songs, then Icon, and then 3 songs from the end, the 27 sort of things. They're both kind of centered towards the sort of intro, but perfectly placed. You could argue, I suppose, that, you know, It's Over and I Change have similar momentum shifts to them, but, you know, 27 for me, it just, you know, it's awesome to hear. Like, you know, I'm sure back in the day, Cee would have done an whole album of Icon or 27, but it's just one element to his arsenal, and but when he does it, he just he just sounds so powerful on it. He just sounds so authoritative.
It's like watching like a marksman draw for a revolver. He's like, see this old thing? You're like, yeah, bang, fucking hole in the side of a warehouse. I wonder if it's deliberate that he put like 3 in that and 3 in that, because if you looked at like Icon kind of closes Act 1.
Yeah.
And then you got the softer stuff, and then it opens with this, and going into the... It's really well done.
It is, actually. Yeah, I never thought of that, but that is true, actually. Yeah, this does kind of close it up. But yeah, and like, I love how in this, you know, we kind of have a reprise of the Homies, where at the end of 27, he's sort of going through what his crew have done, and he's like he just has that bark to his voice that's so good.
He does it. He does that better than anyone does it, in my opinion. Well, just while we're talking about Cee, when do you think he's going to battle again? Because 27 makes me want to see him.
Yeah.
Because they hear him talking at people.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. I know that he was meant to battle John the Don. At maybe like a checkpoint or something like that. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's just kind of passed him and fair enough sort of thing. I mean, it would be fantastic. And do you remember all the Quill stuff that was going down?
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything about that because I don't really think it's my business, but... Right. I don't think Quill wants any of that, because there's people saying, you'll see it when about 4 years. That may be true. He'd still fucking stomp a hole in you with bars, though. Just because he ain't been fighting doesn't mean he can't fight. You don't forget shit like that.
Yeah. I agree. I do. I mean, a lot of respect for Quill, of course. I think Cee...
Quill's great.
I think Quill's great. I think Cee would beat Quill, though. I think he would. I
think it wouldn't be good for Quill. Not even that he'd get beat, but Cee says things in a way that Quill, he can't play that off as cool as he's gonna, because Quill's quite a cool dude. He's just like, yeah, whatever, say your bars, I'm gonna say mine, I'm gonna do me, whereas Cee's just gonna do him. Yeah, Quill's gonna do him, but Cee is gonna do him, type of thing, you know. There's differences.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially of when Cracker and Cee went up against Ark and Skirms, which is one of my favourite 2-on-2 performances by Cracker and Cee. I thought they were absolutely fantastic in that, especially when they go in on the whole
Cracker in that battle.
Yeah, they're both great. I remember I mentioned it to Cracker, and he was like, "Oh, like we didn't really rehearse that. I was like, bro, this battle's great." I was like, you guys killed.
They didn't rehearse. That's nuts.
Oh, they did. I think they did, like, compared to their previous stuff, you know, maybe 1 or 2 rehearsals. So I think a lot of people remember that whole Cee Major was like tech after the disco, like was speaking Spanish and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just hard as fuck stuff. Like there's moments when Cee's spitting and you see both Ark and Skirms just sort of admiring him, just being like, this guy is the real deal sort of thing.
What would you do? You've battled, yeah? If you're up there or you're in a pit and you've got Cee doing Cee to the best of his ability, what are you going to do other than just look at him and swoon?
Yeah, I get.
Just like, you're so dreamy as a guy.
Oh my god!
Please kill me with the lisp.
Oh yeah, Cee Major versus Soliloquy. It would be the biggest bloodbath in battle in history. Like, I have nothing to say to that guy. I would just be.
It'd just be viscera on the front. Wilsey just with a lung on him.
Oh, that'd be incredible. I mean, if that's what Cee wants, if Cee wants an easy battle and then he wants to battle Quill, like, I'll battle you, Cee. I don't mind, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what you want? You want to make an example? Do it to me.
Humiliate me, Cee. I'm down for it, man. Just
that
come
could be your thing, Tom. You could be the battle rapper sketch.
That's true.
Paint a picture on me. I'll move on to the next one.
And then we can talk about it on a podcast and it'll be fun. Yeah. But yeah, 27 is... I don't know why it's called 27. I was trying to work this out. Does he reference the number 27 in it, or...
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure how old he is. He doesn't look 27.
I don't think he is. I think he's like, maybe...
Is it perhaps the age of someone quite close to him?
Maybe.
Because I know there's some mentions of, like, his sister at one point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. And, I mean, I'm not sure, but, I mean, 27 is another real oh man, it's just such a strong song. And another song that we get onto, which is another sort of delicate piano number. This has some wonderful piano on this one. This piano at the start of this reminds me very much, this is Running Through, reminds me very much of like a sort of Final Fantasy like intro sequence or something. It's a very delicate RPG style mood.
It does have like a Square Enix vibe.
Yeah,
it really does. I wonder if he did that himself.
I know that he plays keys, and I know that pretty much all the production is him, so maybe. But
I know, again, not to sound redundant, again, Tom, the snare choice.
Yeah.
Again, sounds silly, but just the sound of the snare itself is fucking, what a choice. Mm-hmm. I notice a lot, like I've been listening to a lot of like Battlers albums or like even independent albums. A lot of people don't know what snare they're using. They'll just stick like a tinny trap snare over like a heavy boom bap beat. Nobody pays attention.
No. And I mean, I think he mentions in feature film that, no one was giving him beats, so he had to kind of make his own sort of thing. And I think with that, he gained that expertise. I go to war for this art like I'm Sun Tzu, which is fucking dope, really, really good.
16 and 8 stone when I got rushed into bits, so the Stanley on my side wasn't a brotherly thing.
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's all this kind of, there's this looking backwards and the growth from it. And it's, I'm not sure who sings on this as well, because it's not Cee, it's someone else on the hook, but it's quite a nice hook as well. Quite theatrical, quite moving in that regard. But yeah, I just love the piano on this, really. I think that's kind of the real standout from here. And it's,
I was really impressed with the keys. And the football bar for this one is struck a chord, made a name of 3 notes, trying to build skills to leave the hood. But what do we know? Reminiscent of Barefoot.
Yeah.
Ronaldinho. There you go.
I mean, there it is. Yeah, it's like in every Seinfeld episode, there's always a reference to Superman. It's like in every.
I haven't watched.
Have you never watched Seinfeld?
I've had this conversation with like a million people. I've got the DVDs and I put it on, and then I get about 5 minutes in and I start getting like an itchy lip, and I'm like, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah. I've watched it all. I've always I've never been like that vibing with it. Like, you've got to sort of respect it. Like, it's one of those things where a lot of people use Seinfeld as an example of like what TV used to be like, where shows could find their feet over a few seasons, where they'd just be cancelled now. Because the first 2 seasons of Seinfeld are kind of okay. Like, where Seinfeld really is strong is kind of seasons maybe 4 to 7, where Larry David kind of invented a new type of storytelling where all 4 characters would have 4 different stories that would overlap, and this is in a 22-minute episode, and they had beginning, middle, end. Like, it's very admirable from a narrative standpoint.
I get that, and I fuck with Larry David and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm familiar with all the tropes, like your Soup Nat, St. George, and all that. But the part for me is when people are like, it reminds me of how TV used to be. And I'm like, what you mean when we had fuck all and we'd watch American imports at 6 p.m. on Channel 4? Because I'm not trying to go back to that.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to...
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't think Seinfeld's that funny. Like I think it's very clever, but I think in terms of like hilarious content, it's not. I prefer Curb personally to Seinfeld all day.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is bananas.
Yeah.
It's always been bananas. It's a different kettle of fish for me.
It is. It's such an original out there show that just I know Kruger's a big fan as well, and we're such fanboys, so that just makes it even better. But no, I mean, it's again back to the football bars and running through kind of has those sort of things, and we get to our I say the final song. There is a bonus track at the end, but the final song kind of this mixtape, Destination, which is our longest song. I really like the backwards looking nature of this song. This is a much more traditional song in the sense that we have the hook and then we have Cee kind of playing in and out, it's sort of thing. Lovely track with the sort of sax creeping in, and him talking of working, education, worked retail and had racks in my pockets. I filled racks on some shop shit. A sort of log of him being at home, that kind of idea. It's not the most memorable really in terms of punches, but in him just sort of operating within the atmosphere of a song. Wonderful yet again.
To me, he excels on his pacing here.
Yeah.
Because we're drawing closer and closer to the end of the tape, and he's super fucking impressed by him, honestly. Musically, more so than I am as a battler.
Yeah.
Which, like we said, I've rated him quite high as a battler, but in this, he's slick. The hook and the intro part, it puts me in mind about... J Short's tape, Sleep When I'm Dead 2?
Right, I haven't actually listened to it, no.
There's a track that starts similar, like to that hook, like almost eerily. It puts my head straight to it, and I'm going to have to remember the name because it's just eluding me right now. But it sounds really eerie similar, and then they both go different ways. But they're very similar sounding at the start. I wish I could recall the name. that's annoying me.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Actually, we'll have to maybe do an episode on some Jay Short stuff as well. I know you're quite a fan. I need to peep it.
His music is different from his battling. Like, his battling's good if you like battling. He does him, but his music's like, there's like some songs have got like a Knight Rider beat, but not like the Knight Rider song. Just like the bassline groove, like, and he sort of gallops over him. Like, his cadence kind of like a gallop, but then it like picks up pace and breaks back. It's really good.
Okay, that sounds very
definitely
intriguing.
Worth checking out.
Yeah, I'm sure eventually we will, man. Yeah, but Destination, it is just a lovely, just a nice mode. I really like kind of where CE's in this song, kind of thing, a bit more relaxed, not as sprawling as a no feature film, not as attacking as an Icon or 27, a more humble kind of register. I think the third verse as well, the final verse, is the one that I really dig with. And it's just some real earnest material here. Like, Destination's great.
It's what you want for what would be the last track on the album, bar the bonus track.
Yeah, and then we get to the bonus track, Do It For The Man, which is a very kind of quite experimental song, really.
I think it's fucking tremendous, Tom.
Yeah,
it's mad, and he's got a different sound here.
Yeah, completely, like nothing like 10,000 Hours, really. It's kind of, okay, it's still got that kind of humble, down low sort of metropolitan mood to it, but it's got the piercing kind of clinky keys there, and the lower... Yeah.
Oh, you go.
No, just like the lower octave voice beneath him, kind of, do it for the man. Like, it's struggling beneath.
Very commanding, isn't it? And touching back to what you said earlier about him, the production and people, he's got that bar that built my own studio because the engineers were trying to fuck me for fun. Had to make them brothers step, and I'm going nuts to the drum.
Nuts to the drum,
Love that part.
Yeah. The slow rise, almost if he's possessed, kind of playing with this, which is just, again, I love him kind of being outside the box here and doing it a bit differently. Light at the end of the tunnel ain't my hazards on, but I've always been a hazard on. And he's got that, listen, I've been through the mud, see that in my kicks, blood on the door, that means sacrifices.
Yes. As it figures, we're just statistics, so middle finger to the system, analyze this. Go on, son.
Yeah, a blood on the door, sacrifices is I love that.
I'd love to hear that live. I'd love to see him do that as, like, big time.
Touch one of them brothers, and that's One Up in the Chamber. That's a no-brainer.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
It's, again, so simple, but you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's it's slightly spaced out. I think doing it as a bonus track makes sense. I think it needed to kind of be a little bit apart from the album, as it were, but definitely still need to be on the mixtape.
It is its own entity, kinda.
Yeah.
But it does go with the songs, I suppose. Bonus tracks are a great way to put it out.
Yeah, completely. I mean, and we get to the end of 10,000 Hours. I mean, it's so good, isn't it? It's so good.
It's probably the best tape I've heard from a battler. Bar, like, I'm trying to think if there's anything that I've enjoyed more. Maybe the Tone and Smith show, just for a fanboy.
Yeah.
Just for being a fanboy, maybe the Tone and Smith show, because of the features and the shit that's on it, like, and the anticipation, the build-up.
The half
Locksmith
decade.
was 8 when he wrote it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But yeah, I'm not an expert on battler music. Obviously, I listen to a fair bit. I'm not listening to much, but I just rank 10,000 Hours as a great album. Like,
not even just battler, just as a tape itself, it's as good as you could hope to get. It really is.
Yeah, it's a really, really impressive piece of work by Cee. And I think I saw him tweeting maybe a few months ago, that he was going to do a sort of, there is going to be a follow-up. He's going to be bringing out new music this year, which I'm really, really excited about as well.
This year?
I think this year, yeah. I think so. Yeah. So I think he's still doing that sort of thing. And I think the reaction, I know on Viewpoint, especially, like when I put on there the Kruger episode and I said, what do you want us to do next? Everyone said 10,000 Hours. People always talk about 10,000 Hours, again, Lazy Ass Jack and me rave about that album. I remember when we first met, we were just talking about battler music, and the first thing we said was 10,000 Hours. It's an incredible piece of work. I urge everyone listening to this to, stream it on Spotify. You can download it for free on Cee Major's Bandcamp, cmajorofficial.bandcamp.com. I'm sure if you search 10,000 Hours download, you'll get it. It's just a wonderful piece of music, like, and like something that I'm just going to continue to listen to. I've been listening to it for months before. I'm just really happy we got to talk about it, because I think it's really deserving of this long form sort of appreciation.
Tell you something we didn't touch on that just kind of dawned on me. Right. It is that good, but we're not exactly from the same background. We're not from the same country, technically.
Right.
We're not raised in the same places. We don't have the same friends, the same experiences, but we both equally emotionally are invested in this as a fucking great piece of art you can listen to. Like, it bridges all gaps.
It does. It really does. It really does.
It really does.
Yeah, that's so true. And I just a stunning stuff. And I guess to wrap up, really, check out Sometimes Cider.
And honestly, thanks to Cee Mate on what a fucking album to listen to. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Cee Major, I should say as well. Thank you. Because it's a gift that you've given to us as listeners.
You're honestly top gun. Don't battle quill. Keep making music.
Big Don.
Do it.
And we are going to be... I've actually got someone lined up, myself and Ben Page, who recently did Top 10 Battles We Wish to See. Me and him are going to be back for Suicide Sex by Lunacy. That's going to be the next episode. Yeah. And then, Dave, I'm sure I'll have you back on again. We'll maybe do Jay Shaw or something else. We'll see.
Anytime, mate.
We'll see what comes up. But, as I said before, check out Dave. Sometimes Cider Sometimes. Check out that podcast, please.
Check it out.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Shout outs to Tom every time.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Please follow the show at Battle Resume. Check us out on the Patreon. Get in touch, battleresume@gmail.com. And finally, listen to 10,000 Hours because it's brilliant. But Dave, as ever, man, this has been great.
You too, Tom. Thanks again, mate.